here, as he's fitted fresh mediums. He's actually going to be side by side with Tiok coming out of the pits, and it looks like he's gotten the better of Tiok for now. Tiok's still yet to pit, currently the oldest tires in the field, and there goes Stefan picking up 3 more seconds. That's going to put him up to 14. Definitely not what he wanted to start his campaign. But I mean, this is we kind of expected this going into this race. There would be a lot of penalties. I mean, that's exactly what we're seeing here. Hopefully that trend doesn't continue into these next couple races or so, but I mean, definitely a oversight here again.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, honestly, I'm surprised there's 6 without penalties. That's actually surprising to me. I don't see many races here that doesn't have 95% of somebody has at least 3 seconds. But, you know, I think I've only had 2 or 3 finishes here where I haven't had any. That's tough to do.
That sounds like your biggest achievement. That sounds actually super impressive. Well, next week we go to Bahrain Short, so that's not going to be a track decided by penalties. Then after that we go to Monaco, which I'm not sure that's going to be decided on penalties, more or less it's going to be decided on safety cars.
I think the contest should be who has the most wins. Because I would definitely win if I was racing. I'm horrible there.
I tell you what. I mean, I tell you what though, we did see a very good race at Monaco the last time we were there for Div 2 and the other divisions as well. Had a very good showing at the track as well. So next up in 3 seconds. So I'm definitely looking forward to that race. I think it's a very, very exciting last time as we have Ben Rice trying to make the move on his teammate in second place of Nero Nix. Behind him, Saffron City also wants into this mix, as well as Will Hand. So we got about 4 cars here up for this second spot potential.
Yeah, it looks like he was on 16-lap old medium, so he's got to be getting the end of those. And there he goes. He's actually going in. I imagine he's going to soft. We get a yellow in section 3. Looks like ZGS retired in the pits.
Unfortunate there for ZGS. I was confused on his idea with starting on the hards, and it didn't play out for him well whatsoever, spinning on the first lap. And the only driver that's gone onto the hard compound is Domingos, who is going to finish out this race on the hard compound, 6-lap old. I would have imagined he would have taken that on his first stop, though he's choosing to take it now. So a little bit interesting there. As we saw previously, Will Ants moved up into third. Could he potentially get second on Ben's Rice? Ben's Rice still has yet to hit on those 10-lap old medium tires.
Did Uncle Ben, did he start on mediums, remember?
Uncle Ben, I'm not really sure if I'm honest. I think
he started soft. I get a feeling he might be stretching his things.
Might have to. I mean, he's currently getting overtaken by Will Ends going into turn 13. Very well done there from Will Ends. So, yeah, I guess at the moment our predictions are holding true of Matt Rosie, Will Ends, and Uncle Ben's Rice at the in the top 3 at the moment. As Soy Loco picks up another penalty, that puts him up to 18 seconds, currently tied for most in the field along with Hightower. Not necessarily a statistic you want to your name, but one that he has at the moment.
And I pulled a position change here. Uncle Ben's at 13 spots up, Humble Hippo at 9, Racing Ginger at 5. So that's your big movers. Big droppers, Ray down 9 or 2, tired in the pits, first one out. And then we got a mixture of them at 5 with Ethan and Spoolin, which Spoolin I believe is still out. I don't believe he ever got back in. So, some movers. Kind of expected Uncle Ben's to move up. His qualifying was the best, so I figured he would get a good jump and move up there.
So you do think Ben's Rice can stick these tires to the end, though? I mean, 20 laps on the medium. It sounds like he's pushing it, but I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah, I mean, if he pits, he's probably looking 10th, 11th area. If he stays out, I'm going to say he could probably hold on to top 6, 7 if he stays out and can manage those tires. Just depends on what everybody else does. Let's see, who's behind him. T-Ax behind him with 23 lap old medium, so he's either going to pit or blow a tire.
So we know if he goes 20 laps,
Yeah. So he definitely, I think he's stretching him, and I think it's going to work out for him. It might not be a podium, but it's definitely going to work.
Yeah, I tell you what, and the field is starting to get a little bit more dispersed now, so he's got a lot of time before he starts losing, serious positions. In fact, he's got a decent gap back on third of Tiago. So, I mean, you never know. I mean, potentially we could see him go to the end. I guarantee you he will. I'm not sure when Tiac's going to come in. I'm assuming he's really struggling on those mediums to see him blocking up and going into 10. So I would assume he's probably pitting within the next 3 laps. So I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. That thing's got to be over 70 by now. And there he goes. So he's going to go throw on some softs. I would imagine we'll probably see a new fast lap here from him. He's got the pace. I think he's going to come out with some soft, low fuel. I think fast lap's going to end up going to Tiago here in the end, unless somebody else sneaks in for some softs.
I will say, though, it's not done him too bad. He's going to, at the most, go down to 9th, assuming Sefron gets him into 1, which I think is going to happen. So I tell you what, that's not been terribly done from Tiago. Maybe stretching the tires was the right choice, and now he's put on the softs. At the end of the race, he's got a pretty sizable gap up to Nero Nix in 7th, but I tell you what, those soft tires definitely will be cutting through that very shortly, though. I don't think he has all the time in the world to get to. He's definitely going to have to start pushing right now.
Well, and I didn't even think about it, but I pulled it up. Got penalties. So behind Uncle Ben, you got Forza with 12 and Soy with 18. So even if they pass him, he's okay with them. So then you got AP behind him with no penalties, who's over 10 seconds behind him. I think he actually might hold on to this podium with those.
Speaking of penalties, it would appear Matt Rosie has picked up 3 seconds, but that chops down the gap to 11 seconds. He's absolutely dominating this race, and I tell you what, this was kind of the trend that we saw at Abu Dhabi last season before his power went out and his AI had to take over. He was also putting on a show at this race, and I mean, it's obviously too early to tell, but he has been one of the favorites to possibly make the early move up into Div 1 when the time comes, and I think this result could potentially prove that. He's definitely in for it. As who do we have off there? That looks like Humble Hippo has gone around in 13 and 14. Did he potentially try to go into the pits? I'm not sure, but he has completely lost his front wing, and that is a virtual safety.
He must have left some on the track to get a VSC there. If he's going into the pits and knocked a wing off, I mean, we had how many of those and didn't have anything? It's kind of funny he brings out a VSC now.
So an interesting turn of events, to say the least. But at the moment, Matt Rosie still in the lead. Will and second. Benz Rice in third, about 2 seconds of gap. Back to Forza Juve, who is in fourth. Though does have 12 seconds of penalties behind us in fifth with 18 seconds, 87. In sixth, Nero in 7th, 8th is Chile, 7th, and 10th is Capitano. So at the moment, we really only know that pretty much the top 3 I can see is going to stay potentially the same unless something happens. Oh, and Soy Loco has actually picked up a drive-through penalty. Wow, an interesting turn of events there, and someone's lost a front wing ahead of him. That could potentially be someone's definitely lost an end plate, that's for sure. Still rolling across the track. Oh, we've got a Haas off in Sector 2. I believe that is School and Dub, and yeah, he has really gone off there. I believe on exit of turn 8, not to mention we have the we got the McLaren of Domingos who's off there.
He was trying to turn around. I just flipped over to him. He was trying to turn around and got disqualified.
Disqualified?
Yeah. Said it was going the wrong way.
Capitano is retired. Oh, something's actually happened to Capitano here. He is... something has actually happened to him.
How is he been...
How is he DNF?
He's up in Sector 1 after 3-4.
Hopefully Matt Rosie's camera angle will be able to catch up to him to actually see where he's gone off. And, yeah, he is... Ooh, and he's at the right side, so did he potentially get loose out of turn 2 and hit the wall through 3, is my guess.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, definitely Uncle Ben is set now for that podium. He just got to stick to it, finish this race. Looks like Racing Ginger picked up a drive-through in that VSC also.
So a couple drivers up to, so 1, 2, 3 drivers up to double digits in penalties. It's Force Juve Soy Loco, who now is up to 21, and then Hightower back there with 18 seconds. So basically, the top 3, I don't want to say guaranteed because anything can happen. The top 3 looks pretty good at the moment. Forza Juve, we're not sure where he's going to come out. It's probably, I'd tell you what though, he might be okay considering a lot of drivers behind him have penalties, so you never know. I'm not sure how the map is going to play out there. But
it's like he'll lose 1 spot to AP. I think that's it. We got 9 for Nuru, 6 for Kiak, and 21 for Soy. I don't think they're going to jump him. So yeah, I think he's going to be. He's going to get a top 5 out of it. AP is going to pull into a P4 as it stands. So these guys keeping it clean are going to be the ones that are going to benefit the most here.
Absolutely, and that has been the case all race so far. I mean, we saw at the beginning of the race, it was an absolute mess with the rain that was there. And the guys that chose the medium tires were definitely the ones that did not benefit from that, as we saw lots of conundrum there within those first 5 laps or so. And then once it started to clear out a little bit, it got a lot better. The race got a lot cleaner. Only a VSC at the moment. Don't want to jinx anything just yet, but only 1 VSC at the moment. So I'd say, well, this has been a very good race so far, and tell you what, this is going to be one heck of a season at the moment. I'm starting to lose track of everything. This is going to be a good season, as we see lots of contenders for this. I mean, Will Hands, despite being behind Matt Rosie, has definitely faced some adversity in this race. He's done very good. Uncle Ben's race in a good spot as well. So, is it too early to see who the favorites are? Probably, as this is definitely a very even division. But at the moment, Matt Rosie, Will Hands, and Uncle Ben's Rice definitely getting the best start to this season.
Yeah, I think it might be a little early, but I think your top 3 here, I think, are gonna be your top 3 to really watch, mixed in with some of the other guys. But I think those 3 are really gonna be the battle.
Oh, and what's this? Racing Ginger has been disqualified for ignoring the drive-through penalty.
Oh.
And so now he is pulled off to the right side of the circuit in a very interesting spot on exit of turn 2. Hopefully that doesn't result in some sort of VSC or anything. That would be unfortunate to say the least.
No, usually they don't. They disqualify, they just pull them off, like kind of like if they were to retire on track, but they have no control over it. So my best guess is he got that as he passed the pits, and then it just took control. So nothing he can do with that. He should have served it, but you know, might just been having a rough day and decided to ignore it. Because we only have 14 running. You know, think about, was it not even 7 laps ago, we had 18 running.
Yeah, I was about to say, we have only 14 cars left in the field. That is a little surprising to me, as I would have... Obviously, you're going to find DNFs no matter what track you go to, but I was assuming we'd at least have about 17 left, so we're left with 14, so a little disappointing there, but, you know, this has been a very interesting and wild race, to say the least. And as far as, you know, with everybody having penalties, I think I would be surprised to see more than 7 cars having changed to a wing at this point. I mean, yeah, as we start this final lap of the race, Matt Rosie, as he heads through sector 2 now, I mean, he's got a 20-second gap to Will Hands now. It's been a very solid showing for him. It looks
Uncle
like
Ben in the pits?
Ben's Rice has gone into the pits. Did he just... I mean, I'm not sure what's happened there. We were predicting that he was going to make the mediums last to the end. Did he?
He just, by doing that, unless he had a puncture, because he'll still jump back up to fourth. Yeah, it looks like, no, probably fifth. So he's gonna lose 2 spots by that. I'm gonna say he probably had a puncture.
That would be my best guess. I mean, we saw Tiak go, I think, 23 laps on the medium tires, but to the line comes Matt Rosie taking the win in week 1 of the season by a substantial margin, 18 seconds before the penalties. Will and still making his way to the line now. I tell you what, been a very solid race for Will Ends. Nothing to complain about from his perspective. Maybe that he couldn't have caught Matt Rosie a little sooner, maybe given a little bit more of a challenge. However, I will say, very solid result for Will Ends. Forza Juve across the line in third before penalties.
Yeah, looks like AP probably jumping.
7. Yep. And then the rest of it, I'm not even going to try to predict this.
Yeah.
Everything up here. So Ben's race does jump into 5th.
Yep, so he'll end up 5th, but like I say, I think, I'm going to assume he had to have a puncture. There's just no way you give up a podium for a last lap pit.
But at the end of the day, Matt Rosie taking the win in commanding fashion. Very well done. And then Will Ends finishing second, and I believe AP7 taking third. Obviously, if I can't see it, I'll get it wrong. So it could be dreadfully wrong here, as I tend to do so sometimes. So we will hopefully get to those interviews after the race, but a very solid start to the season from the Williams driver of Matt Rosie. And I tell you what, the constructor standings are going to be really jumbled, considering that I don't think there was consistency in much any of these teams, aside from maybe Ferrari probably had one of the more consistent days on the grid. But I tell you what, very, very interesting first round.
I went ahead and added them.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
It's nice having a sidekick, huh?
That is always a mess at the end of the race. Sometimes they just kind of leave after. But, Monkey, do you want to run through our final order here?
All right, so we had Matt Rosie with the win, and then Will Ends, AP7, Forza. Uncle Ben's pulling in the top 5. You got Tiak in 6th, Niru 7th, Saffron City 8th, Adel Tony in 9th, Soy Loco 10th, Detail 11th, Spoolin at 12th, Humble Hippo goes to 13th, Hightower in 14th, and then the DNFs of El Capitano, ZGS, Noganator, Ray, Racing Ginger, and Domingos.
So a very entertaining race at that. We will get to the interviews in just a second. I'm going to stop the recording now so we get these guys a little bit of time to join if they haven't already. 3, 2, 1, and... come on, save the video clip, please. There we go. Alright, who do we have here at the moment? Oh, there's...
Hello there, AP here.
Hello there, AP. Very solid job. We'll get to you in just a second. Let's allow Matt Rosie to join, if he does. Let's do as well. We'll end solid drive. Let's see. We'll give Matt Rosie a minute or so if he doesn't join. It's whatever. Awesome. I have to edit a meme video and this race. Amazing. Alright, we'll give Matt Rosie like 2 more minutes or so if he doesn't join. All right, I'm way too impatient to wait another minute. Okay, I will start the recording again in 3, 2. Okay, so I am here with 2 out of the 3 podium finishers, AP7 and Will Ans. We'll start with you, AP7. So a very solid race for you, picking up the 3rd spot. I mean, so how did you go? Did you go into this race kind of with the mindset of, oh, do I stay clear of penalties? Because that's one of the things that really helped you in this race.
Yeah, so I knew that this is going to be a penalty fest, so I thought, okay, let's keep it clean, especially near the Wall of Champions. So, you can always take advantage of that, and you can see people got massive penalties, 9 seconds, 12 seconds, were all over the place. So I was like, okay, like I'll sacrifice some pace, but then it would mean I would have no penalties, and it's like, do I really want to gain that 10th and get a 3-second penalty? And it was a no-brainer.
Hey, Matt Rosie, welcome. We'll get to you in just a minute. So, AP7, back to you again. Bahrain Short next week. How do you feeling about that track? It's been kind of the idea of that being put on the schedule has been tossed around for such a long time. How do you feel about that?
I actually look forward to it. I haven't actually played it that much, so I don't know where I stand amongst other people, so I gotta go and practice a little bit. So, I don't know, but I'm excited though.
Absolutely. Monkey, do you have anything to add?
I'll add about Bahrain Short. That's some good stuff right there.
Absolutely.
No, great drive, AP. That was the patience to not have the penalties. That's key in that race. Is that what were you focused on, just keeping it clean then and making sure you got to the end?
Yeah, I mean, I did have one moment though, I think it was before I pitted first, I missed my braking point and I don't remember who it was. I have to watch my stream again. Luckily, I don't think anything happened to them, but I did have wing damage, so I think I lost 4 or 5 seconds because of that, but it didn't really matter at the end. Apart from that, I think it was a pretty clean race.
Definitely.
I did have a couple of people bumping me from behind, but luckily no damage.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Absolutely great job finishing on the podium.
Welcome.
Hopefully, we'll see you again here next week. And now on to Will Ans. Now, Will, you and I were talking in the party yesterday before the F2 race, and I said when you are consistent, there is a very solid chance that you will finish on podium, and that's exactly what you have done today. So take me through your mindset going into this race, and then how do you played it out through the entirety of, this very interesting race, to say the least.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a similar thing to AP7, I suppose. There was a big focus on my end from consistency. I knew Canada is probably my worst track on this calendar, so I knew I'm not going to have the pace to win this or to get a podium on pace, so I just need to be consistent. I didn't touch a single wall, and I only got 1 warning the whole race, so that was the aim, and I accomplished that, and that got me the P2, I think.
Very solid. So I'll ask you as well. Bahrain Short next week. How do you feel? Are you excited? I mean, it's kind of one of those tracks where anything can happen. Definitely a fun track. Definitely, lap times under a minute for sure. It's going to be a very fast, fun race. How much are you anticipating it?
Slightly nervy going ahead of it. I've only had 1 league race there, and I got lapped on lap 1. So. We'll see. Hopefully I can do a much better job than that.
I hope so. Monkey, do you have anything to add?
That's definitely key there. Bahrain Short's tough to not get lapped on. So was your focus at the beginning with the rain, were you worried to go onto the slicks, or did you even contemplate going to the intermediates to start that?
It caught me out a little bit, to be honest. I saw the weather forecast before and thought, okay, we're going to be starting on intermediate tyres. So I had that in my head and I was ready for that. And then we loaded onto the grid, and the team was saying that the softs were actually the better tyre to start on the slicks. So that's what everybody else did. It was a little bit nervy, just trying not to spin the wheels up, trying not to lock up and stuff. It worked in the end, I think. Matt's pace, you were just you had turbo in your ass or something, man. I don't know what you were doing, bro, but.
Vote that guy to D1, right?
Yeah, get him out of here, man. I want that P1.
You want a race, get out.
I want those wins.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Will Ans. Hopefully you have another good run next week, and hopefully we get to see you again. And then finally on to Matt Rosie. So basically, I'm going to kind of piggyback off of what Will Ans was saying, how much were you kind of caught out by seeing that the beginning of the race was going to be kind of in the wet? I mean, how much did you consider that going into the race? Matt, I don't know if you're talking, but I can't hear anything.
He's so fast he ran away from his mic.
He probably figured he could run to the bathroom and then come back. I mean, he had an 18-second gap. He definitely had the time window too. I'll give him a minute to come back. Why not?
Oh, looks like he got knocked out of the party. Give me a sec. I'll get him back in.
Okay.
While I do that, I can tell you that I have found out that the reason Uncle Ben pitted on the last lap was because he hadn't run 2 compounds.
Ooh, that is... So he didn't run 2 compounds and had to box. That I did not expect.
Yeah.
However, I will say that is... I am glad he caught that before the end of the race and avoided the DNQ that he would have gotten. So I guess good reactive there, I guess, by him.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
But anyway, so Monkey, as you attempt to get Matt Rosie back into this party, what are your final thoughts on this race?
Go ahead. Well, I think Matt's in now.
All right, so Matt Rosie, congratulations on the win. I'm going to piggyback off of what Will Ans said. Knowing that the beginning of the race was going to be in the wet, how much did you consider that with tire strategy and whatnot?
Oh. You there, Matt? Showed him joining the party. Nope. Wonder if he's having a mic problem then. Yep. He just messaged Mike's acting up. Give him a second. He's changing headsets, so he's got a backup, so
Okay.
So
Yes,
I can say that next week I'm really bummed. That was Bahrain Shorts the one race I was really looking forward to this season. Obviously we did it for that division battle, and I had a blast with it. I think it's a fun track. You can definitely get lapped quick, but man, I'm bummed about that one. I think that's going to be some excitement.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, and we were talking about. I think a lot of us in the a lot of us in the planning Discord were talking about adding, short circuits to the track for forever, and there was a lot of question on, well, would that be such a good idea, but then once Secure rolled around in real life, and then we looked at the lap times and said, oh, well, they're literally the same lap times. We said, okay, yeah, we can definitely add this into real life. And I'm glad we did, because it's a very exciting track, very fun to watch, very action-packed as well, as we have seen already. So I am very excited for that, and very unfortunate that you won't be able to participate in that, as I was very much looking forward to.
No?
Yes, there he is.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's all good. Don't worry about it. So, all right, third time's the charm. So,
Yeah.
Matt Rosie, going off of what Will Ans was talking about, knowing that the beginning of the race was going to be in the wet, how much did you take that into account for your tire strategy and the race in general?
It was interesting because I actually contemplated for a second going on mediums until I tried to qualify on mediums until I saw it was supposed to be wet, and I said, okay, it's going to be on inters no matter what happens on softs, because I mean my qualifying pace on this track is super inconsistent. So I figured, why not go on softs? It's going to be on inters no matter what, wherever you qualify. Turns out, obviously, that wasn't the case, and I actually did 2 laps on the softs that I started on, so I figured I'd be a bit of disadvantage. Ended up slapping a little more downforce on my car, and that actually helped a lot in the wet there.
Well, I tell you what, yeah, a lot of the drivers that chose to fit the medium tires definitely did not have the start that they wanted. The majority of the people that started on the softs definitely had the better start, so great job there. But yeah, again, Bahrain short next week, a track that a lot of people have been anticipating. How do you feel? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I've never really done a full league race there before. I'm just a little worried about how tight everything's going to be during qualifying and everything, being on such a short track, but should be interesting. Should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and you're not the first person to say that they don't have a lot of league experience on this track. That's what AP7 said. I assume a lot of other leagues don't normally run Bahrain short. I think this is one of the only leagues that I've seen that actually does that. So yeah, it should be very exciting. Monkey, do you have anything to add?
Oh, not really. It's a pretty dominant performance for you there. It's. Well, I mean, what else can you ask? Was it fun to drive around and not see anybody?
I was on edge the whole time just because how any kind of track, any street circuit where they have walls around you, one little slip, you lose a wing, and then there goes the race. So I was kind of walking on eggshells the whole way, not as relaxed as I would be normally.
Yeah, definitely. That's
understandable.
understandable.
You got Monaco in week 3.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll be a good fight the rest of the year. I don't think it'll be that easy from now on, especially taken from what we saw in Austria in the preseason testing.
Yeah, that exhibition race was exciting to watch. I raced in it, but to watch it back was a blast. There were such good battles, and
oh yeah, that's what I expect the season to be.
The one thing that Hotspot and I have talked about is we could easily see 12 different winners this season. There's plenty of guys that can win the race, so I think it's going to be an exciting race, and you got your win out of the way early, so just keep up with it.
100%. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you so much for joining us, Monkey. Any final thoughts before we sign off here? It's been one heck of a race, and hopefully the prelude to a very, very exciting season here. Hopefully one of the better seasons we've had in the Midwest F1 League across all the divisions. I'm very excited personally. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. We've had the discussions about it. On one hand, I'm excited. On the other hand, I'm mad because I can't be part of it. That was the build up to this season has been great, and then 3 days before the season starts, I'm out and can't race for 6 weeks. So that's definitely a tough one. But it's great to join you in the booth and be a part of it somehow.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's gonna stink seeing you in the booth here. Not because I don't want to have you here, but obviously I'd rather see you out on the track, as you were definitely in the preseason race. You were definitely a very exciting talent to watch. So hopefully we get more of that in the later end of the season. But for all of us here at the in the Midwest F1 League, I'm already messing up the intro. For all of us here at the Midwest F1 League, I'm Hotspot, and I was joined by Monkey Mafia. See you all next week at Bahrain Short for week 2 of Division 2.